Hi, welcome back to the show. I'm Nate Taves. I'm here with
Jonathan
and Thomas.
We're here in Rhode Island once again at Jonathan's College doing the second podcast that we mentioned in the Timing is Everything podcast. This is, of course, Moviecase. The subject of this episode is pretty short. It's the De Niro Stallone film, Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone film, Grudge match. Alan Arkin was also a star in it, and so was Kim Basinger. Or Bassinger, if you want to go by Stallone's pronunciation. Now, first note here on this is that De Niro and Stallone used the same trainer to get in shape for the movie.
Yep.
And it was Stallone that hooked De Niro up with the trainer, and Stallone helped with the diet plan for De Niro to help him lose the body fat.
Right.
And then the other guy had him building up weights and stuff. And some of that footage that you see in the movie is actually him as he was training, not necessarily being faked for the camera.
Oh.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yep.
Now, that said, we should also mention that the other thing that's interesting about this movie is that this was the second teaming of Stallone and De Niro. The first one was Copland, 1997, which also had Ray Liotta and who else was in there? It was Ray Liotta, De Niro, Stallone, and
I take a wild shot. Antonio Banderas.
No, you would think, but no. No, there's some other guy. It's going to drive me nuts trying to think of it. Thomas is looking it up. Okay, so let's start with you, Jonathan. What did you think of the technical aspects of this film?
I thought the whole thing was pretty well done. The fight scenes was pretty cool. The storyline was quite funny.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like a comedy action movie combined.
Yeah, no, it was a good one, right?
Yeah, no, I really liked it. What year did it come out? Was it last year?
Last year, 2013. Yeah, it came out Christmas Day.
Yeah. I just never got around to go see it.
No, not to Thomas. I was the only one that got to see it, and I was with my dad.
I'm surprised that it didn't. Why it didn't get better reviews? You know, on those websites like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff.
But that's the fine part. Is all the reviews I read on it were actually pretty good. Yeah, Entertainment Weekly gave it a B and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd agree it's a good B movie.
Oh yeah, I agree too.
I mean, it's not gonna win any freaking Oscars, but it was good fun.
No, it had a lot of good one-liners and like innuendo jokes. You know, it was spread throughout. So any drudgery that might have been felt by just it's another boxing movie was set aside.
Right. And a lot of the in-jokes, like it's Stallone getting ready to punch the meat in the meat factory, and they're like, "Hey, what do you do? We're just buying dinner."
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should have been like, "I'm just trying to tell you."
Yeah, they're poking a lot of fun at the Rocky series, and then at
Raging Bull.
Raging Bull. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I got the cast list now. Tom's just handed me his phone. This is for Copland, 1997. This was Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Kathy Moriarty, Frank Vincent. Those are the big names. Kathy Moriarty worked with De Niro in Raging Bull. She got horribly attacked after that, had her face cut up. and stuff, and somehow survived that and continued her career. She was also one of the witches, aunts of Wendy, played by Hilary Duff in Casper Meets Wendy. She was also in Analyze That with De Niro and Billy Crystal. She played Patty the Presti, the woman head of the mob. Just all interesting notes here. Yeah. Okay, so the technical aspects, Jonathan, you said you liked the cinematography was good?
Yes.
Okay, the writing was good?
Yeah.
Direction?
I thought I like the whole movie overall and everything.
Okay, well, I'm trying to pro specific tell you, so direction was good?
Yeah.
Okay, and timing, pacing?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. And quality of jokes?
Best.
Okay. So that worked out. Your takes on this? Same questions.
Yeah, I like the characters. So I guess you could say I like the screenplay. I did like the cinematography. I liked the combat, the boxing. I thought it was like pretty realistic. I didn't get the sense that it was like video game like or anything like that.
At the very beginning of the movie when they were actually making the video game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I like that part. I mean, it's bringing up to contemporary times, and it relates to like a lot of teenagers and people our age and older.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Nathan in one of those suits.
Oh, you never say that.
Yeah, the Buzz Lightyear joke, that was classic.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I could think of when I was looking at that was that the what's his name? Ben Stiller at the Oscars when he was mocking Avatar or something, and he had on the green suit to show that his body could disappear at a moment's notice, and he said, are blowing Steven Spielberg's mind now, or they shot over to the audience, and Spielberg's shaking his head going, no, I didn't. No, he didn't fool me.
Yeah, right.
And it's kind of like he was the master of the green screen at one point.
Right.
Him and Lucas.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What else?
Direction.
The direction, that means just like the overall, like how...
Well, it's like, it's like where I want this color, I want emphasis on this line, I want you to make this kind of a facial expression.
Yeah. I think they got that down packed for the jokes and for the fighting sequences.
Okay.
I mean, some parts of that were slower in the movie, like the restaurant scenes and the tug-of-war love story going on between the characters. I think it was kind of like a lot of like panoramic shots and not like up close and personal. From at least from what I remember, and I felt that was kind of detracting from the movie and the pacing.
The more personal.
Yeah, the personal side of things.
I guess I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one point. I agree with everything else you said, but I'll disagree on that one point. I think that because this movie is about the love triangle, and because it is also about the competition between two guys, I understand the use of 2 shots and 3 shots. Okay. It's not always a recommended thing. You typically want to go for the close-ups and whatnot, but I think it worked to do the 2 shots and the 3 shots because then you get a good idea of what each person's doing, and it somewhat shows, although you don't think about it, but somewhat shows how whatever's going on in the scene. Let's say it's 2 people, it shows how it's affecting both of them. 3 people, how it affects 3 people.
Sure, I can see that.
But that's a little bit of film theory kicking in.
You're the mastermind.
No thanks, but I just ghosted the film, really. So anyway, my take on it, I saw it in theaters. It was great in theaters. It was hysterical to hear all the laughter both times I've watched it. I thought the pacing was fairly good. There was a couple of dragging points, but overall pretty good pacing. Story was engaging. The characters were well developed, and I certainly like character developed films more than just your usual slapdash action.
Yes.
So I was kind of happy to see that. I like the knowing winks that it took at the audience with references to the Rocky series, like again the meat scene.
Yeah.
Where spoilers, Alan Arkin takes Stallone into a meat facility, and Stallone gets ready to start boxing on the meat, and then Alan Arkin says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you doing? We're just here to buy some dinner." So anyway, that was kind of funny. It's in the trailer as well, so it's not a huge spoiler.
Yeah.
But I thought that was fun. I like the use of the CGI to give the younger.
I thought they did a great job on that too.
De Niro and Stallone, to give them younger bodies.
Yeah.
Because you could see that they did a heavy amount of makeup on their faces, and then digital airbrushing, and then CGI'd their heads onto somebody else's body or CGI body.
They really trained for this movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah. As I say, De Niro used Stallone's guy. And now, interestingly enough, Stallone was the one that got Dolly Parton in shape when they did Rhinestone back in '84.
Wow.
Which I thought was interesting. Also, it's interesting to note that De Niro started off, not necessarily his first film, but amongst the first few films they made, he started off in Brian De Palma work. Brian De Palma was the guy that did Scarface, and he did what was it?
Rickleman?
No, it was
Brian. Desk. Yeah, spider in your desk.
Whoa! I've never had a spider in the whole room.
This is fine. We now have a spider crawling behind me. So the what was it? He did some other movie. I'm blanking on it. Brian De Palma. Oh, he did The Fury with Kirk Douglas and John Cassavetes.
Yes.
He did a few others, but mostly he was trying to like Body Double. He was trying to emulate Hitchcock with most of his stuff. Anyway, I thought that was interesting that De Niro started off in a couple of his films, and he also worked with Martin Scorsese early on in his career, and Francis Ford Coppola with Godfather Part 2, which he was in with Al Pacino. Al Pacino he did Righteous Kill with, and they're teaming up for an Irish mob movie again with Scorsese and Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci and De Niro worked well together over the years, and in terms of Stallone, some of his early stuff was like Capone with Ben Gazzara and John Cassavetes from, I want to say it was 76 or 78, somewhere in that. And he also was in You remember Woody Allen's Bananas?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember the thugs there on the train that commit the robbery?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of them.
Oh.
So, I mean, he's been all over the place. He made a film with Kirk Douglas called Oscar.
Okay.
Tim Curry and Marissa Tomei were also in there, but Melissa Tomei. No, yeah, I heard. Marissa Tomei. So she was in that with him, and there's another few character actors that you recognize, like the old guy from Home Alone 2, the owner of Duncan's Toy Chest.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he's in there as one of the Stooley characters. And if you remember Animal House, the guy that's dating the girl that's sleeping with Donald Sutherland, that guy was in Oscar as one of Stallone's henchmen. And there's another guy in there that also showed up in Analyze
this.
I want to say it was Analyze This. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was with De Niro and Billy Crystal on the scooter. As you can tell, I spent way too much time watching movies. So anyway, I've done all my 6 degrees of separation here. So the idea of this overnight, so people have an idea just for context, is that we were going to do a couple of movies, Las Vegas and Grudge Match. We have officially now given you our thoughts on Grudge Match. I highly recommend people check it out. It's an agreeable way to kill an hour in change, 2 hours at max, and look at the bonus features if you can. Those are fun. Some of them are online. Some of them are on the disc. They're all worth a look. And have fun with it. Don't expect an Oscar winner, but expect to have some fun. And so the next Moviecase podcast will be talking about Las Vegas, which is Morgan Freeman, Robert De Niro, Kevin Kline, and Michael Douglas. Now, this came out in November. Las Vegas did. Came out November 2013. And then Grudge Match came out Christmas Day 2013. So we just saw them were going in the reverse of when they were released. But at least we're saying them. And I saw both in theaters and enjoyed them. I saw them both with my dad. So I still have to show my godfather too. That would be fun. Yeah, that's an excuse to get into the house in New Hampshire. For those who did not listen to the last Time Means Everything podcast, I'm moving to New Hampshire. Jonathan's graduating college, correct?
Yep.
And then he's going to grad school in August. Meanwhile, Thomas is still planning his wedding. He will be moving to Amherst, Mass., where he will get his stuff stored in an apartment. Then he will officially move in there after his wedding and honeymoon in August to start going to UMass Amherst for grad school round 2.
3. If you want to count the master's degree.
Round 3. Stay tuned to the Time Means Everything podcast. You'll certainly have some laughs coming your way about that. Hopefully we'll be able to do a few more of these things over the course of the summer. Maybe we can even recruit Jenny for one if we'd get her to see a movie that she might like.
Yeah.
Question is, what movie will that be?
That'll be the day.
Huh?
That'll be the day.
Do you mean the day that we get her to do a podcast?
Yeah.
Well, we can always trick her and tell her that she needs to sing. I say this with the compliment in mind that she is a good singer.
Yes.
And she's also pretty.
Mm.
And if anybody says you're being a cat hitting on Thomas's cousin, Jonathan's cousin, I tell you what you can do with yourselves, but being a Christian, I can't use that phraseology. With that, I'm Nate Taves.
I'm Jonathan Sawyer.
And Thomas.
Thanks for listening. Please tune in to the next one. It should be fun.